Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? It's good to be back for Saturday night. As you see in the title and the thumbnail, they're two different stories because, well, they're both from the UK. UK is having a really bad day, apparently. Happy 1 hour added back day. Wait, if we stay on long enough, will the time change and we'll gain an hour? Is that what'll happen? If we stay on until like 3 a.m.? We'll actually jump back to 2 AM? Is that'll happen for you guys? That'll be pretty cool. Hey, Moonshadow, good to see you. Shad Hunter's here, Marjorie's here, Wendy R, Rachel, Gayla's here. We have stories from your neck of the woods. In the title, it's from from your area. Let's see. Mr. James Avery became a member. Thank you, James. I really appreciate it. The people I've had some very nice people who have supported this channel, even with the changes over the past week. Though I really appreciate those people. I'm so happy that people are able to understand that sometimes we have to do things in life that we don't want to do. And I'm trying my best to give you the same content, just in a different format. So I'm happy everyone can be adults about it. Hey, Natasha, how are you? Good to see you. Jojo, not for me, we don't change time at all. Well, then you don't get to be part of the party. Your party was the other day. By the way, I said happy birthday to you. I hope you saw that. Hope you had a great birthday. I Hate Morning says, hi everyone, just listening tonight. All right, have fun with that. But good to see you. Hey Caspar, how are you? Great to see my comments in chat. For a few days, my app was having issues. Hello world. Well, hello to you too. Shasta, good to see you. Laura T, Kathy Lynch. Who else? That's it? All right. Hey, Texas Roadrunner. Good to see you. April B, Diamond Heart. Okay, I want to talk about two different stories to start the night. Hey, Sean. I want to start. These are very, very bad. Both of them are not very good. And I don't know which one to start with. Let's start with the one out of Scotland because that's the one that everyone is talking about right now. It is I don't know what you want me to tell you about it, but this might be one of the most horrific things I've ever seen on Halloween weekend. This is literally how Halloween stories, start. You know those stories that you hear about Halloween, like there was an axe murderer in the car and then they all died. Well, this is how these type of stories, that's how they start. So we're going to talk about it. Apparently, am I going to get it right this time? Hold on, I looked up the pronunciation before because I suck at this. Oh, yeah, yeah. So it's Edinburgh, right? So, in Scotland, in a place called the Cowgate area, I'm not familiar with it. It's in the city's Old Town. They say so far, police have said were responding to reports that a pedestrian had been hit by a vehicle, but have not released further details. Their official comment is very plain, but the details that you can find online are very graphic. Now, I don't know how much I can show you without getting into trouble with YouTube. Let me see. What do I have that I can show you that I won't get in trouble for? Okay, well, I could show you that. Okay, that's pretty benign. There is some actually very graphic stuff online. I will describe it to you, but I will not show it to you. Does that make sense? Because we can't. I don't think I can. I think we're not allowed to show things like dead bodies. I don't think we're allowed to do that. But there you go. That's where they located part of him. So, from what I understand, this is an elderly person that was holding a Tesco bag. And unfortunately, somehow his head has become separated from his body. Now, there are videos going around online of this poor elderly man. And there is a video I am watching right now. You guys can't see it. It is some sort of CCTV, must be like a live cam of the area, or maybe someone's recording, but it kind of looks like it's coming from above. The head is in the middle of the street, and a bunch of guys walk past. They're having like a Halloween weekend, and they think it's like a Halloween prop. So they walk over and they pick up the head and start looking at it. And then he realizes it's a real human head and he drops it. And I mean, I don't know what that would be like to actually find a real head in the middle of the street. But being that it's Halloween weekend, of course, like that's what they think, right? Because everyone's got props and they're all dressed up. I don't know how this man came to be in the middle of the street and somehow be separated from his head, but yes, very Tropic Thunder-like, yes. So, I can't show you that. Oh, can I I don't know if I can. I don't think I can. I think it's too graphic. We're not allowed to show things like that show dead people or graphic nature, um, because it's against the YouTube rules, but it is available online if you really must wanna watch it. And unfortunately, there is a photo going around of that's how I know it's an elderly man because I've seen the photo of the guy's face. His face is very busted up, unfortunately. I don't know. And there's another video of people kicking his head down the road. I think that's really, I don't know if they knew it was human or they thought it was a prop, but they were kicking his head down the road. And I think that's really disrespectful. Very disrespectful. In one of the other videos, after the original video I was telling you about, after the guy picks up the head and holds it like this, sort of like by the hair, and he looks at it like that and drops it, his friend goes over and starts teabagging the head. So if you don't know what teabagging is, it's like a video game thing when you kill your opponent, you go over and you squat over them by putting your nuts in their face. So that's sort of like it's like a disrespectful thing. And they were doing that, well, one of his mates was doing that to the head. That guy's gonna feel real bad in the morning when he wakes up and realizes that that could have been his grandfather or, the nice man next door. And geez. So right now we don't know who this man is. There's no information on how he got there, but they believe he may have been a pedestrian that either tripped and fell and got hit by a car or got well, I read some conflicting reports. I don't think anyone really knows. I heard some locals saying that at this time of night, there are no cars in this area, that it's blocked off. Like there's some sort of local ordinance because there are a lot of drunk people that they don't allow vehicles in this area after 10 p.m. So I don't know how he's become so badly injured. I mean, to have your head separated from your body, that's pretty severe, right? I think you would have to have been. I don't think you just fall on the ground and your head rolls off. This is not an episode of The Simpsons. This is something else. As you guys can see, I'm scrolling through some photos here. People watching from the scene. I also read reports people that came into the area before police got there and sort of had their phones out and that. There were people, some older people there, ushering people away, saying things like, be more respectful, don't be taking photos, get out of here. And that was nice to see that some of the older people had some respect for them. Yeah, this is brutal. So from what I can tell you, hold on, let me go into my files. Let Ping go into his files. Um, okay, well I could probably show you this photo. It's not graphic. Hey Wendy R, that is extremely kind of you to send in a super chat. Wendy R says, one of my children did a year abroad in Napier and they loved it there and had such a wonderful experience. I hear it's a great place. I've never been, but I hear everyone's pretty friendly. Angela said it's also a low emission zone, so not as many cars as you can get a fine for driving through there. I'll read that out in a minute. Moonlight view, moon shadow. No, no one needs to see that. I think that's really disrespectful. But I can describe things for you. So there is another photo, and I'm not going to show it to you, but I'll describe the scene. So it is the same street, or maybe it could be an adjacent street. They all look very similar. It's very busy. There's a lot of people. There's like a group of ladies. They've all got shopping bags, and there's a couple of fellas just standing on the street. One of them looks like he might be having a smoke. There's a guy on a bike. He's jetting past, and a couple of other ladies are entering the frame. And on the road, there is a body lying there without a head, sort of like in this sort of like starfish position, and everyone's just walking around not paying any attention to it. And I find that crazy. Like, why is no one calling the cops? Why is no one guarding the scene? Why is people so the elderly man, this is how I would describe it. He is a gray-haired, short hair man who has unfortunately a lot of trauma to his head. He has a lot of trauma, especially in the forehead area here. It's not cut open or anything. It's just he has some deformation in his forehead, and especially on his right cheek, he has a lot of cuts and swelling, and looks like may have happened either post mortem or peri-mortem, so just before death. And he has a lot of injuries to his ears as well, unfortunately. And I'm not sure. I just don't get. If someone hit him, they would have had to have hit him at a really high rate of speed to be able to do this. So I'm confused how his head became separated from his body, unless someone killed him. But it looks like he was just going down the shops to buy shopping, because he's carrying a little Tesco bag, and it looks like he went out to get his Friday night curry or fish and chips or something. So I don't believe he doesn't look homeless. He doesn't. I'm not saying that homeless people have a look or anything. He looks well manicured, and he looks like he looks like he takes care of himself. I wouldn't say that. Not that homeless people don't take care of themselves. I'm just saying he looks like just a maybe a guy that, just an elderly neighbor or something. He doesn't look homeless. Not to me. Angela says, I need to see exactly where it was. There's a bridge above there. I think we can find a street. I think I can find a street for you. There's another article. Hold on. They've actually shut down several streets in the area, apparently. What street is it? They're saying all ways to enter Cowgate are cut off. Unfortunately, we have to cancel tonight's event at Mash House and will remain closed all night following police instructions. And they said this is from an event called Bachata Blues, and they're saying they'll be back open for tomorrow. They say the police are saying emergency services are responding to a road traffic incident in Cowgate. Blair Street, Guthrie Street, Candlemaker Road are closed. Motorists are advised to avoid the area and use alternate routes. So it looks like it's Blair Street and Guthrie Street and Candlemaker Road. So let's go to Edinburgh. Edinburgh? Let's go to let's go there. This looks like okay. So there is a place called Scottish Bridge. So let's go here. So this is Cowgate here, and this is South Bridge. This is Blair here. So there's Blair. What was the other? Guthrie, Blair, and Candlemaker. Well, there's Blair. There's High. There's Guthrie. So Blair connects here through Cowgate, and then down here, and then in Guthrie. And where's Candlemaker? I don't see Candlemaker. Maybe I can't. Maybe I'm blind. Maybe I'm blind. But we found the two. At least there's Blair, Cowgate, and yeah, Guthrie. So this looks about right. These little turning road sort of areas. This looks like that main road where he was found. But why did they cut off these roads here? Is it one-way access? Is that what? Yeah, look, all the cars are parked in the same direction. So that means it must be a one-way street. So it probably feeds into the Cowgate, and one of the exits, maybe through here. Yes, you see a car turning right, maybe? Maybe you can get out through here. Maybe that's why they wanted to close it off. But this is the Cowgate here. What's this one called? Old Fisherman Market or Old Fish Market. Okay. And then there's down here, National Cycle Route 75. Okay, thanks for that. Oh, Candlemaker's all the way down here. Oh, I wonder why they've closed off this street. Is this where he was originally hit? There's Candlemaker Row right there. So why have did they say they closed off Chambers too? They closed off Blair, Guthrie, and Candlemaker. That's interesting. Just to stop traffic coming into the area through Cowgate? I'm not sure. I don't know the area that well. I've never been there. But I'm not sure. Maybe because you can go around the roundabout and head up through here under the bridge and head up through here. Maybe this is because it leads you into the crime scene. Not crime scene, but police activity. And then they've cut off Guthrie and then Blair as well. So it's probably got to do with direction. So you can see there's a little arrow that says it's one way. So yeah, that's probably why. They probably just don't want people or any vehicles getting in there. So there's a little bit of a view of the area. It is like a maze. It is. It is like a bit of a maze. Blaze says he may have been hit by a truck. I mean, it's possible. Here, let me see if I can find any latest information for you. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't play any of the videos, and I think it's highly disrespectful if I did. That was probably someone's granddad, and we've all had a granddad in our lives, right? And how would you feel if you saw your granddad's head on someone's YouTube channel? I don't think that you would find that very respectful. So I'm not going to show it. I just want to find if there's any latest information. I don't see anything new of from the police. And I don't see many locals talking about it. Although there is a thread on Reddit, and they are saying police said so the police are describing it as a road traffic incident. Why would they say that if it was like a murder or something? I think he's definitely probably been hit by a car. I'm just trying to see if these locals have any. Some people are saying maybe he did it on purpose, but I mean, they're saying here from a few different sources, someone has had their head taken off during going to a bus. So they're saying that he was going to catch a bus, but then people in the area are saying there's no buses in that area right now. Oh, that's very interesting. So a comment here says in the area there's tour guide buses that don't have the roof on them, and they do tours like around the area. Someone was like, those buses are quite tall. Maybe he was standing up and got hit by something, and that's how his how he's become decapitated and then fallen off the back of the bus or the side of the vehicle. I mean, that's a pretty plausible explanation. April says, "I wouldn't want anyone looking at my loved one after that." No, me either. Angela says, "Not at night. They don't do the tours at night." Let's have a look. What's the area? Cowgate, right? In Edinburgh. All right. So it's Friday night, right? No, Saturday night. Ping. Saturday night. Let's see. Can we do a nighttime bus tour in the area? Let's go to Edinburgh tours. No, that doesn't help me. They have their own website, but I don't think that helps me either. No, that doesn't help me either. I'm just gonna have to believe they do have their own website. Look, that you can get buses all over, but I don't think in that particular area. I mean, it's an interesting hypothesis if it came true. Lothian tour buses, is that what they're called? The ones with the no roof? Oh no, Lothian's the company. um, are they the ones that have the no roof though? Like I've seen those ones. They have them in the UK, like the red ones in London, where you can ride around and do the tours and. But I don't know if they have them in Scotland, do they? Let me have a quick look. So it looks like Lothian motor coaches. Oh no, they do. Actually, they do. They do. Yeah, let me show you something. So they they do have these type of buses. See, you have a section here that has no roof, but you'd have to be doing something really dumb to have to get decapitated on this bus. Like you'd have to be like standing on a seat taking a photo to even get hit because you can see it's not fully open. Or I guess leaning off the edge to take a photo, that would work. If you leaned over the edge and then got hit by another bus or vehicle, pole, whatever, that might be something. 10 more likes, that would be good. I try not to run my shows like that. You hear some creators and they're like, "Can we get to 100 likes tonight? We can bust that total." Like, I'm not gonna do that, and if I want people to like the show if they like the show. I don't want people to be like, "Oh, I clicked the like because the guy on the screen told me that's a good idea." And, like, that's not positive feedback. That's actually, like, you get a false sense of what people like and don't like that way, and I try and let things be natural. So, yes, I probably get less likes, views, donations, all that type of thing by not talking about it a lot, but it's not a real depth gauge of your channel if you if you constantly remind people. Moonshadow said people would see if you were beheaded on a bus, not if it's a quiet tour. Not if there's not a ton of people. And he's like, I'm just going to go upstairs and I want to take some photos from the top. And the bus driver's like, cheerio, mate. Catatonic, good to see you. But I don't know. It's just a theory. Otherwise, I don't understand. Some people might need a reminder to like. Maybe we can start a poll in the chat. Like, those little question things like, have you liked the chat today? Even though, like, they're very annoying. But sure, we could do that. I'm just not going to talk about it a lot. Yes, I'm sure they do have cameras, but how many times do we hear like, "Yes, we do have the CCTV of the incident." of how this old man died. We were gonna review it in our investigation. They're not like, "Hey, the guy saw it on the CCTV and then notified us." It's always a after the event. So I'm guessing if it's something like this, they'll have video of it. You are right. Thank you, Catatonic. I really appreciate it. The support of the channel right now is really, really needed. It really is. It really, it really is right now. It's been a real flux. Taking away that night show or that second show is just everyone's just gone a little crazy. Everyone's gone a little bonkers. I don't know why. They just have. Even though I made the show 2 hours long and made it made it longer, people are still not happy with it. Why can't I see? Oh, here. So Moon Shadow sent in a donation through Ko-fi or Coffee. Ko-fi. It's Ko dash Fi. So it's Ko-fi, meaning co whatever, and then Fi is finance. Um, like they call it like different things fi at the end for finance, and like Bitcoin and stuff like that. It says here, Moon Shadow says, my donation to my favorite YouTuber. I love how you cover random things. It's always entertaining. Keep it up. Thank you very much, Moonshadow. I don't know what I would do without people like you. I really don't. It's very kind of you as well. I get it. We're in the crazy economy right now. Crazy economy. It's mental. April says no pressure channel here. I let everyone have a say. I don't care if you have an opposing opinion. I think that's how the world works. That we all maybe don't think the same things. I think if we all thought the same ideas, it'd be a very boring world. We'd basically be like robots, right? So I don't understand people who are like, I'm going to control my chat with an iron fist, and if you don't agree with our theory, then we're going to ban you. Like, what? Isn't that how discussion and ideas and working together is? Not everyone has the same ideas, and not everyone has the same theories. We should be allowed to express that. So that's why I don't I try and let the chat be as free as possible. Although I really hate the fact that Melody didn't come back. I feel bad that someone harassed her. I thought it was me for like ages. I thought I did something wrong, but I'm really sad that she felt like she couldn't come back here because she was a great contributor, and I'm very sad about that. Sean says Tony Cakes was decapitated by a council truck last year. What's a council truck? Hold on, who's Tony Cakes? Oh, a former mobster? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we could look that up. So he he was struck by a city bus. That's very interesting. I wonder how that happens. Like, I would have to ask Mr. Joseph Scott Morgan. By the way, me and Joseph actually spoke very briefly the other day. I actually finally had the nerve to reach out to him and say hi, because we follow each other on Twitter. Um, and he was very, very kind to me, very, very, very polite, very, um, so had a lot of nice things to say, and me too to him. Maybe we can build on that relationship, and I can get him to come on and talk about things like this. So in this one, it looks like this was a 86-year-old man in New York, a former mob boss or a mobster. It says he crossed against the "Don't Walk" sign in a marked crosswalk, and he got hit by a car. They saying his head was lying several yards away from his body on a New York City street. A Department of Transportation truck accidentally struck him while making a right turn. Hmm. That's very interesting, Sean. Thank you. Because I would have thought it had to be a much harder impact, but I guess cars are these huge metal devices that you get hit in the wrong place and, pop goes the weasel, apparently. Let's see what this video is up here of it. Oh, good, it's blurred. I was like, "Oh my god."
Oh my god, her head is down here. I don't even want to zoom in. There go her head. Oh, it's a man. Oh my Jesus. It's a man, y'all. This is this is a bad day. He didn't, oh my God, it's a bad day. He turned that corner and killed that man.
How did we get muted? The ghost is back. The ghost is back, apparently. The ghost is back. That ghost from Trisha's channel, I think is living in my channel. I think it is taken up residence in my channel. There's so many freaky things. Yesterday, the microphone completely died. Like completely died. I had to pull it all apart, take off the power, get it out of the computer, put it back in. Like I've never had to do that before. Like normally I just can pull this plug here and then put it back in and it lights back up. I had to go to the computer, rip everything out, do everything, and then I just plugged it back in and it worked again. It was so weird. There was like no power to the microphone. That was very weird. I think it might be that Ed Ghost that Trish got. Maybe after 5 years of buying, sorry, not buying, getting ripped off on eBay, Trish finally got a real haunted item. I think she finally did. I think she finally did. She Yeah, I think after years of being ripped off, she got she finally got a haunted item. The microphone, I think, is okay. I think the cable might be a little bit, loosey goosey right now. I might have to get a new, USB-C cable. So, think the microphone's fine. Think the cable might be dying. Hey, Trisha. What's up, my friend? I know, we need to do a seance. We need to get what are those leaves they have? Like they make them smoke and that, and they go, "Hey, da, da, da." Don't use ripped off. Fine. I'll use the word scammed. Um, Trish got scammed for many years on eBay with haunted items, and Now she finally got a real one, and it's not messing with her, it's messing with me. Sage, yeah, Sage. There was a kidnapping police chase in LA. Oh, I missed a police chase, really? Oh, hold on. Was it parental or a real, or was it a parental one, or like if it's a parental one, it's gonna be super boring. But if it's like a real, like, stranger danger kidnapping, that is freaky. Yeah, kidnapping suspect leads police on, hey, get out of there, on slow speed chase in LA and OC, Orange County. Moving at about 5 miles per hour, the chase shut down the San Diego freeway, backing up traffic for miles in Orange and LA counties. What? He They're saying a man eventually, just after 8:30 p.m., the car stopped in Springdale Street and police exited the vehicles with guns drawn. The man exited the driver's side of the vehicle with his hands up, walked around the front of the vehicle and hugged a woman who exited the passenger side of the vehicle. Then he surrendered to police while she tearfully backed away and walked to police. What is this? Is this like a grown woman that he abducted, not a child? The driver is a kidnapping suspect who may have a victim with him, according to KCAL. All right, I have to go have a look at this. Hey, how do we open this? There we go. They drove over a spike strip at one point, which caused the two front tires to go down. What was the any? Yeah, the passenger, whose relation to the suspect is unknown, began to speak to police after the suspect was arrested. Weird. I didn't see it. I didn't get to see it. Let's go to the main page. No, we don't want to do that. No politics. It's not even on the front page anymore. What a shame. That is a weird thing, driving at 5 miles per hour. It was a Mustang as well, and it was driving at 5 miles per hour. That is very odd. Oh, you sent me the story? Thanks, Sean. Guys, there is something weird going on with my email. See? Ed is Ed is even messing with my emails. No. I think I'm running out of room in my email because I have over like I only opened this email 2 years ago, and I have over 15,000 emails in it now, and I think the program I use on the PC, it can't handle it, and it's slowing down because I'm either not getting emails, or when I do, they're, like, 2 days late. They end up in spam, which has happened a bunch of times, or I'll reply to someone and they don't get the reply. So I have to clean out that email and make it smaller. Get rid of like 10,000 emails. Yeah, he hugged her after they got out of the car. That's very strange. It was boring. Ikamel played music. I love Mel. I wish me and him were mates, but we're not. We're not friends. April says, sounds like my email too many. Yeah, there's something weird going on. So I'm gonna have to sit down tomorrow in my off time and just sit there and delete emails, like click entire pages and then just delete, 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 delete. It's just I think it's not handling it well for having so many. I've sent emails as Messenger wouldn't let me send you the stories. Really? That's odd. Hey Brenda, how are you? Oh my god, they're playing football in the corner. Don't do that. We'll get banned from YouTube. That is a very weird chase, 5 miles per hour. I don't know why someone would do that. Oh, apparently you guys had, if you're in California, you had a 2.9 magnitude earthquake and it struck near South Pasadena. I hope you are all okay from that mild shaking. I hope you were shaken, not stirred. All right. I want to take you back to the UK. Got a lot of UK stories tonight. This story out of the UK is very disturbing. as if the other ones tonight haven't been, but okay. They're saying a teenage boy has been charged with attempted murder after a 13-year-old girl was stabbed in a horror attack on Friday morning in Yorkshire. They're saying the young girl who was found by a passerby had suffered serious lacerations, including stab wounds to her neck, back, chest, and abdomen. They're saying charged this evening with attempted murder. The teen is also facing another charge of possession of a bladed article. The 14-year-old boy, who cannot be named for legal reasons, has been remanded into custody to appear at Hull Magistrates Court on Monday. They're saying the Humberside police were called to the scene on the roadside of the A63 outside Hessel in Yorkshire in the early hours of Friday morning after a passing car noticed the injured teen girl. They're saying the incident occurred in a forested area adjoining a large meadow behind the Humberview Hotel. The hotel had previously been taken over by the Home Office to house young male asylum seekers, but reopened to the public over the summer and appeared largely deserted today. But this is the image we have on the thumbnail, and you can see forensic police have taped off a large area of that field for evidence gathering. I think there's another one. Yeah, there you go. An access road into that meadow. Cops have got it cordoned off. A old 44-gallon drum filled with beer bottles. And there's that hotel. So they're saying here up to, yeah, 6 teens were allegedly found gathered around the remains of a fire surrounded by empty beer cans. 3 teenage boys aged 15, 16, and 17, and 2 girls aged 15 and 14 years old have been bailed from custody after talking to police about the incident. And then we have one boy who has been charged with attempted murder after stabbing that 13-year-old girl. 13. And she's fighting for her life in hospital right now. And there's that remnants of the fire. Here, let me see if I can find anything else. So I can't show you their photos because they're underage, but 13-year-old girl. Here, let's go to The Guardian. They say the boy himself is only 14. And what the hell? They're saying the young victim found beside the A63 early Friday morning with lacerations to her neck, stomach, chest, and back. And they're saying that the teenagers cannot be named for legal reasons. And that the boy was also charged with being in possession of a bladed article. I find this very disturbing that people driving to work or doing their weekend activities found this girl just lying on the dual carriageway of the A63 shortly before 7 a.m. on Friday, or going to work or whatever. And, you know, I'm sure that's not what you want to see driving to work. A girl who's been stabbed and lacerated, and you're probably like, "What the hell? What's going on here?" I agree, but have you noticed that a lot of these crimes done by younger people are getting more severe? Like, we all know that young people get into trouble. That's sort of the thing about being young. You push boundaries, you do things that are not quite, legal or whatever. Sure, that we all know that and understand, but the crimes seem to be getting worse. Like, killing someone is now, a part of life for some people. You know, taking a weapon everywhere as a teenager is a part of life. Like, that's just a normal thing. Hey, I might have to I might have to stab someone tonight. Like, it seems to be happening more and more. Yeah, let me see if I can find anything else about this young girl. 13 years old, and if it wasn't for those people on the highway who stopped to render aid, maybe she would not have lived. She's in hospital in, like, very critical condition. If she doesn't live, that 14-year-old boy, his charges will get upgraded to murder. Like, they'll just upgrade it from attempted murder to or, whatever, to murder. The A63 in Hessel, Friday morning. Let me see if I can find a local paper, not a Yeah, it says here that the girl is fighting for her life in hospital right now. That they don't have an update on her condition at this point in time. So here's a bit of a look of the area too. So they were behind these bushes or thicket somewhere. They were behind here in a meadow having a bit of a party, and then something's gone wrong, and someone has pulled a knife and stabbed her several times. And then people pulled over on the carriageway and got her help. Yeah, 6 teenagers, 4 boys, 2 girls, and then a 7th boy who was no, sorry, just 6 of them. One of them is 14. He's the one who stabbed her, 13. But you got these other older people too, 15, 16, and 17, and 2 girls, 14 and 15. The age group here doesn't sound right. You got a 13-year-old girl, a 14-year-old girl, and a 15-year-old girl. But the boys are 14, 15, 16, and 17. So you've got 2 older boys here, a couple of years older. You would think they might have to be the more mature ones in the situation, and it doesn't seem like they were. It seems like they were just as, they're saying here the leading the investigation, Detective Superintendent Simon Vickers said, over the course of the last 24 hours, my team have been conducting extensive lines of inquiry to ascertain exactly why this incident happened and to understand the circumstances that led to the attack on the 13-year-old girl who remains in a critical but stable condition in hospital. As part of those inquiries yesterday, a large scene guard was in place around a wooded area on Ferriby High Road, as well as on an area of the A63 where the teenage girl was assisted by members of the public. These cordons have now been lifted, and he says, I can confirm that the attackers knew the 13-year-old girl, and 6 teenagers currently remain in our custody being questioned by detectives. They have now been bailed. So in the UK, I think I've explained it before, they will often bring people in, and if they don't have enough evidence or if not enough evidence evolves through the questioning process or the interview process, they will then bail them to appear later. So what that means is you might be given a set of conditions. You might be like told, "Hey, we're going to release you today, but you can't talk to any of the other people involved in this incident." Or you might have to only stay at this particular address, and they might do something like that. Or you have to come see us whenever we ask. Like, if we ask you to come in to interview and it's 3 a.m. in the morning, you have to make yourself available to us. Things like that. So this is quite common in the UK to be bailed after interview. So there's at least 5 of them got bailed. One of them has now been charged and is being held until court on Monday for attempted murder on that 13-year-old girl. You keep getting booted out? For why? Wait, hold on. You keep getting kicked out of the chat? Let me have a look. I'm just looking at the logs. Hold on. Hmm. I don't see anything. Give me 1 second. I just want to log into the YouTube thing and have a look at the other ones. Hold on. Okay, it doesn't show anything on my side. Yeah, I get an error message. Can you tell me the error, like what it says? Maybe that might help me tell you what is going on. The stream shuts down? Alright. Hey, everyone, am I live right now? Like, can everyone else see me? Is it only catatonic? No, no, no. Hey, sometimes this happens. YouTube, I'm not getting any emails or anything. We didn't show any copyrighted content. Sometimes when you show copyrighted content, they'll actually like pause your live stream and put a banner up saying like, "Hey, the stream is currently paused due to some sort of violation." So I was worried that that's what was going on. Live, okay. Catatonic, maybe it might be your net. Is your net a bit funny? Are you on mobile or cell phone? Something like that. Hey, Jill. Hello. Hey, Dyslexia. Good to see you. Yeah, YouTube is weird. I agree. Matt's tonic refresh. Yeah, it might be. Oh, I'm just reading through everything. Did you just call catatonic Matt? You tried to call catatonic Matt. Catatonic is your real name, Matt. No, that's all right. I don't care. We try solve problems for our audience. We don't, get mad at our audience for having issues. It's not that type of channel. All right, let's keep going. By the way, I saw some really good news today. I don't know I don't know if you're like me, but we in Australia, we all love is it Margaret Robbie? We love her. Like she's the greatest export since Danny Minogue and Kylie Minogue in the 80s or Elle Macpherson or whatever. So she is our shining star. She gave birth to a baby. She finally had her baby. So Margaret had a baby boy. She finally gave birth. That is great news. Healthy baby boy, healthy mum. Dad looks like he's going a bit crazy. He looks like he's not sleeping well. he he's like, I need alcohol and diapers. Apparently, he was looking for alcohol and diapers. So really good news. We all claim her here. We love her. She's a great actor. And then she finally had her baby. There's husband. There's dad. Apparently, he went to get some wine and some baby stuff. Yeah, she's probably like, "I haven't been able to have a glass of wine in 9 months. The day this baby comes out, you give me the bloody bottle of wine." So, great news, she's had a baby boy, and apparently she went into labor a couple of weeks ago, and they announced the birth recently. So, great news for Margaret Robbie. What the hell is a Matt's tonic? What is a Matt's tonic? Because why is it in all of your phones? What is that? Is it a brand in America? Hold on, let's look it up. What the hell is a Matt tonic? I don't know. I don't know what it is. The hell is it? I'm not sure. But when I look it up, nothing comes up. Someone who works at Apple or Google, it must be addicted to Matt's tonic, whatever that is. All right, let's keep going with the true crime. By the way, I told you a story about Halloween's been a bit mental. I told you about a shooting that happened in Melbourne. Well, they actually announced who the person who was shot, and it was a aspiring rapper from Melbourne. Never heard of him. But, I mean, doesn't mean he wasn't good, I just never heard of him. Yeah, let me bring you that, just an update for people from that shooting. They're saying aspiring rapper is identified as the man fatally shot in the street, sparking a wild brawl after a Halloween rave. His name is Pal Bidong, was shot early on Saturday. Gunman remains on the loose right now. Here's a photo of him. And he was shot. There's another photo of him doing his rapping in front of a microphone. And he was shot and killed outside of a rave in Melbourne, Australia. And we don't know why. We're not sure why, under what circumstances or for what reason. But someone pulled a firearm, and you can see there, unfortunately, he is covered by a forensic tarp on the side of the road. Not a place you want to end up after a Halloween party. It's been a brutal Halloween, it really has. A lot of bloodshed. And you can see here, these are some of the photos I brought you last night. A lot of people fighting. So now they have announced that who that was. All right. Let's head to WFLA in Florida. Maybe not WFLA. Hold on, guys. ABC Action News Tampa Bay. No, not that one either. I'm trying to find something that has a video for you that's going to be not my stupid face. Okay. Hopefully this video is not just a video. Let's see. Is it going to play for us? It is not. Arr. We really do need to get a a VPN going. Which I know Reeby did give me one, but I haven't been able to set it up yet. They're saying here newborn baby found in trash can on campus of U Tampa. Student gets bond for that. Here's a photo of her in court, actually. They're saying the University of Tampa student accused of suffocating her newborn after giving birth in a dorm bathroom has been given bond. A judge set 19-year-old Brianna Moore's bond at $260,000 after an emotional hearing on Friday. The bond is much lower than prosecutors had asked for after the judge made it clear the details of the case are enough to disturb anyone. The defendant told security and EMS that blood in the bathroom was just from a heavy period and that she was not pregnant and has never been pregnant. Detectives told judges she admitted that she might have been in denial of being pregnant, but that seconds after delivery, she owned up to clutching to the baby to her chest between 3 and 10 minutes. So she held the baby very tightly against her chest. They're saying here the baby was breathing. She cried loud enough and long enough for the suite mates and roommates to be awoken by it. And when they heard that, and when the defendant heard it, she silenced it. Documents said she wrapped the baby in a towel and put her in a garbage can. Her roommates, who thought the sounds were from the bathroom at 7 a.m., were part of their dreams, discovered it and called police. An autopsy found the baby died via suffocation and had broken ribs. Prosecutors argued Moore should be given a $500,000 bond. They say this is a very difficult case. It's difficult because of how sad it is and how egregious the case is. It is very, but her defense said they argued that she's not a threat to the community, she was not a flight risk, and she had been cooperative with detectives. In the end, she was given $260,000 of bond, and she has to wear an ankle monitor and has promised to stay in Hillsborough County until her trial. They said there is, in fact, a substantial probability that the defendant committed the crime. That's the easier part of the analysis. There are no future court dates as of yet, but at some date she'll have to face charges of aggravated manslaughter. Ay, 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 ay.
19-year-old University of Tampa student accused of suffocating her newborn. is ordered bond. A judge set Brianna Moore's bond at $260,000 after an emotional hearing today. It included photos and descriptions of what her roommates heard that morning back in April. Fox 13's Evan Axelbank reports from the Hillsborough County Courthouse.
The judge ended up setting a much lower bond than prosecutors had asked for, saying that the details of the case were enough to disturb anyone. Brianna Moore walked into court to hear the details of the morning that changed the rest of her life and ended that of her little girls.
The defendant told security and EMS that the blood in the bathroom was just from a heavy period and that she was not pregnant and has never been pregnant.
Detectives told the judge she admitted she might have been in denial of being pregnant, but that seconds after delivery, she owned up to clutching the baby to her chest for between 3 and 10 minutes.
That baby was born alive. That baby was breathing. She cried loud enough and long enough for the suite mates and roommates to be awoken by it. And when they heard that, and when the defendant heard it, she silenced it.
She said she wrapped the baby in a towel and put her in a garbage can. Her roommates, who thought the sounds from the bathroom at 7 a.m. were parts of their own dreams, discovered it later and called police. An autopsy found she died by suffocation and had broken ribs. Prosecutors argued she should be given a $500,000 bond.
This is a very difficult case. It's difficult because of how sad this case is and how egregious this case is.
But her defense argued that she is not a threat to the community and that she is not a flight risk, given she has cooperated with detectives.
There is no evidence of present patterns of behavior that would indicate that she will not appear for court.
In the end, she got a $260,000 bond, about half of what the prosecution had asked for. But she does have to wear an ankle monitor and has promised to stay in Hillsborough County until her trial. Answers may be elusive until then, and maybe forever.
There is, in fact, a substantial probability that the defendant committed the crime. That's the easier part of the analysis.
There are no future court dates on the docket yet, but she will eventually have to face charges of aggravated.
I agree with the judge. The easier part is knowing that she did it. The harder part is finding out why. Why she felt the need to do something like that to the baby. I mean, there are safe drop-off points in Florida where she could have just, I mean, I don't know, guys. I feel bad talking on subjects like this because I'm not a woman and I don't know what it would be like to give birth to a child. I really don't. I know what it's like to have sex with women. I don't know what it's like to have a baby. I don't know what her mind state would be after seeing all the blood and a baby come out and this and that. Like, I have no idea. But I feel like if she had told her roommates, they would have helped her, right? They would have helped. Someone would have helped her. Like, that's what they would have done, right? They would have felt very sorry for her that she had to go through that alone. And while they would have been freaked out for a minute, when everyone calmed down, they would have figured it out. They would have gone, okay, well, you probably need to go to hospital. You need to get the baby looked at. You need to be looked at. Then we'll figure out what to do with the baby. There's options, right? Put it up for adoption. You can do whatever. It's not going to derail your life unless you want it to. Well, she chose the selfish option, and now it has derailed her life. It didn't have to. That baby could have gone to a couple who would have loved it. For real. And there's, with the election week coming up, there's so many issues we could delve into right here, but we're not going to. But I would say this crime is multifaceted in the way that there's so many things you could look at that could have either gone in different directions. I mean, but at the end of the day, a baby died. It didn't need to die. The baby could have lived. The issues with how she had a baby or how she was pregnant, that's a different issue that for people who get paid much more money than Ping does to deal with. But I will say that some people saw these type of things coming. Is she an international student? I don't think so. I think she's from Hillsborough County. I don't think she's from international. I don't think she's like hard of English or whatever. I mean, I don't think so. Let me have a look. I mean, I could be wrong. Sorry, I didn't mean to cough in the microphone. I hate doing that. And I hate when creators do that. I'm like, mother effer, press the mute button. That's why I always go like far away from the microphone when I do it, or I pause the mic. They're saying here that Brianna Moore, like they said she has to stay in the county, and they said that's no problem because that's where I think she must be from there or from Florida. Let me see. Oh, so she's actually from Mississippi. She's from Mississippi. That's where she's from. She was arrested in Mississippi in Quitman. So yeah.
Tonight, a teenager is facing manslaughter charges after investigators say that she gave birth in a University of Tampa dorm and then put the child in a garbage bin. State Attorney Susie Lopez says Brianna Moore was arrested in Mississippi this morning. Back in April, police were called to the McKay Hall dormitory on the university's campus. Officers found a newborn wrapped in a towel inside a trash can. They say that Moore told them she gave birth in the dorm bathroom and held the baby tightly while crying. An autopsy revealed the infant had multiple broken ribs along her spine and hemorrhaging in her lungs. The medical examiner says the cause of death was asphyxia due to compression of the torso. State Attorney Susie Lopez says this is a stark reminder of Florida's safe haven law. Florida lawmakers recently expanded it to allow parents to anonymously surrender unwanted newborns up to 30 days after birth. A parent can surrender their child to medical staff at a hospital or any fire station.
The New England Patriots can make it.
Right. All she had to do was, even if the roommates found out, they just had to call her an ambulance. And they could have taken her to hospital and she could have said something like, I had no idea I was pregnant. I can't raise a baby. I'm a college student. Like, I don't have the support systems in place. I would like to give up my baby for adoption or, something like that. And they would have done it for her. It's a safe haven law, even at the hospital now. And you heard under those expanded laws that it can be done with medical personnel now. So the baby would have been safe. You would have been looked after. You could have had a checkup, make sure that you're not bleeding or anything. And you would have gone back to campus to recuperate. Sure, people would have known, but now everyone knows. Maybe your class would have known, your roommates would have known. Who cares? That's biology. That's how things happen. You stick the pineapple in there, you don't have a wrapper, the chances of that happening is pretty good, especially if you're a young girl. You're a young girl, you're probably pretty fertile. It's probably going to happen pretty easily if you keep doing that. Yeah, right. I mean, exactly. So she really needed a checkup. That's what I was saying. Yeah, she could have got some help. I feel sorry for her in that sense that she felt so alone she felt like she had to make that option. But at the same time, I feel like, I don't know, I just don't know what it's like to have the mindset to be pregnant. That's all. I feel bad commenting on it. But I feel like if she could have just reached out to someone, this could have been so different. Very different. It could have been, she could have given the baby up. She could have been back in class now, and she wouldn't be locked up in the prison awaiting a trial for the death of her child. She could have said, when I was young, I had a baby. I didn't know I was pregnant. I ended up giving birth in my dorm room. I gave that baby up, and I've heard he or she went on to live a great life. Like, that's a much better story, right? Yeah, she did. No, you're not. Yeah, I like that you can give it up to a medical personnel now. Yeah, that's why I don't understand what that part of it would be like. I don't know if that really messes with your thinking or, like, I don't know how that, like being in a panic that you're now in labor and giving birth, and then having your head pumped full of freaking hormones. I don't know how that works because I've never done it, and I'm not a girl. I'm a guy. I don't know the changes your mindset goes through. I have no idea, so I don't know how to comment on that. But I can just tell you what I think, and I think that I wish someone would have reached out to her, or that she would have reached out for help. Baby brain, yeah. She was obviously having unprotected sex, so I don't think she's that smart. I mean, isn't that the first thing they teach you about college? You're gonna sleep around a lot in college. Make sure you carry just the largest pack of condoms you've ever found. And it's a two-way street, boys and girls. It's a responsibility of both parties, not just the guy, not just the girl. It's both. Takes two to tango, right? Takes two to do the F word, then it takes two to do the protection bit. Tharvey said it's called pregnancy brain. I've done it 3 times, 2 lived and 1. I'm sorry to hear that you had a miscarriage, my friend. That's awful. I'm glad you have 2 that lived, and they're probably the sweetest children. I'm sure you remember the third all the time. I've heard women remember forever, like it never leaves them. Like they always remember. Oops, didn't mean to put that up. The horizontal polka, that's right. But it's a two-way street. And just like consent is a two-way street, protection is a two-way street. It takes 2 to tango, it takes 2 to do the act, it takes 2 to. Well, we have you seen a suggestion that she was SA'd at a party or something? I haven't seen anything about that. If you do, let me know, then we have a different conversation. Patty L says sex education is taught in schools. It's hard to believe she didn't know what was going on. Pretty sure most teenagers, men and women, understand that when you put the thing in the thing and there's no barrier and things happen, that can happen. So I don't, pretty sure most people understand by the age of, how old is she? 19? Pretty sure she understands how, yeah, 19. I'm pretty sure she understands what happens if she lets anything like that happen. But hey, there's some responsibility here on the male too. Who's the male? Who's the father? And why were they okay taking that risk? Angela says, no, we'll probably never know why she did what she did. No, I don't think we will. I don't think we will. And that's very sad. That's a young woman's life derailed, completely derailed. I don't know how long she'll spend in jail, but it'll be probably at least a decade. And she'll be a 30-year-old woman probably by the time she gets out. She would have lost her, building years of her life, and all for making a very stupid decision more than once. And yeah. Tharvey says they are grown now, but I wonder about my first one. That was a result of stress, school, and physically not being ready. I was 22. Oh, I'm thankful you shared that with us. Thank you, because it's nice to understand. I don't understand. April says the father's family may have wanted it. Maybe, could have. Maybe if she told them. I know there's my emails are bouncing to you. What does that mean? My emails are bouncing to you. Yeah, I know. We've had a lot of problems with the email this week. I've had people tell me that they've sent me stuff and I've never got it. I've had people said that I never replied to them when I did. I don't know what's going on. I reckon this Ed
Tonight, a
goes,
teenager is facing manslaughter charges after investigators.
yeah, good for you. I really think there's something going on with the email. I got to fix it. I'll fix it tonight. What I'll do is I'll delete all the excess emails and then I'll reboot it. STL card says, but did the male know? We don't know. I haven't heard anything about a male, like a father. I haven't heard anything about a guy knowing. Here, let me see if I can find. Maybe he might have commented somewhere. Let's have a look. He may not have even known. She may have been sleeping with a few guys, which is not a problem. Guys like to sleep around. You know that song? Um, Girls can be players too. Yeah, sure. Hey, you do you. Let's see. I don't know. I don't see anything about a guy. No, unfortunately, I don't see anything about a male being involved anywhere, just about her. So it's possible that the guy that had slept with her didn't know, which is quite common, unfortunately. Communication, people, communication. Even when you're young, communicate. Communicate what's going on. Hey, I missed my period. Hey, I might be pregnant. Hey, I need your support. Hey, help me out. Like, communicate. If there's one skill that young people can kind of learn a bit more about, even us older people, it's how to communicate. You know, maybe she would have got a lot more support if she had just spoken a little more, or talked, or you know, asked for help. It's not it doesn't make you a weaker person to ask for help. Sometimes we're in situations where we just don't understand the options or the way forward. And even at 19, I can't imagine what it'd be like to be knocked up in college. And I don't know so that must have been very difficult. But at the same time, these colleges have support services. They do. They have a female support service. They have places girls can go. They have I think some of them even have like a sexual health clinic. So there's there's ways forward. I don't see anything about a guy, but it's a very pretty photo of her. It's a nice photo. This is not a great photo. She looks very unhappy, which she should be. Let's see. Wow, listen to this. They say, for crying out loud, there's a fire station across the street from the University of Tampa. Tampa General is a mere 2 to 3 minute away by Uber or car. So she had options. She could have even ducked across the road and put the baby in the fire station little, capsule thing, and then ran back home and tried to have a shower and maybe even sneak out and get to a hospital somehow to get a checkup for her. And then yeah, I feel sad that she was in that situation, but I don't feel sad about the crime she committed, if that makes sense. I feel bad that she was making those choices. There had to be a different way. Yeah, what do they say here?
It absolutely breaks my heart to know that this baby girl could still be alive today if this woman had alerted authorities that she needed help. For crying out loud, there's a fire station across the street from the University of Tampa. Tampa General Hospital is a mere 2 to 3 minutes away by car. This baby girl's death was completely avoidable. It absolutely breaks my heart to know that this baby girl could still be alive today if this woman had alerted authorities that she needed help. For crying out loud, there's a fire station across the street from the University of Tampa. Tampa General Hospital is a mere 2 to
There we go. I don't know why it loops like that, but there you go. I agree with her. I agree with her that there obviously seems like there were options for her. Blaze says, I don't understand why young kids going off to college don't get the option of 5-year birth control. Are you talking like the IUD thing that some girls can get? The one that goes up the clacker or the one that goes in the arm? I'm not sure, but I know when I was dating, when I was much younger, some girls had that little bar in their arm, that little bar that they put under the skin. I dated a couple of girls who were like, yeah, you can X, Y, and Z because I got the little bar in my arm, and I was like, great. Yeah. So I know those ones, and I know the ones that go, you know, up and inside and around the thing, and I know those ones. I don't know if they're 5 years though. I know I was dating a girl that had one, and the one in the arm, and she said it's like 3 years. Maybe they're 5 years these days. Patty says first year college students need a class when they enter college on sex education. I think they do. I think they do. I think that it's mandatory. I'm not sure at all colleges. Muted? I don't think I'm muted, am I? Too much info for me. I don't think I'm muted. Rachel says there are many options in free clinics. I agree. Yeah, she will be going to jail for sure. I don't know how she'd get out of this. She can't say she was mentally unwell. They don't accept that in Florida. Not for birth or pregnancy anyway. Not without a previous diagnosis. And she basically admitted to it and cooperated with police. The best she can hope for is a very understanding judge who will give her the minimum, which I think the minimum is like 7.5 years, which if she's a first time offender, she only has to serve 30% in Florida. Is that right? So what's 30%? Let's do some napkin math because Ping is very bad at math. Divided by 10 times 3. So like 2.5 years, 2.25 years. So she might have to do around a couple of years in jail if she gets a very understanding judge who gives her the minimum. The minimum. If she gets any higher, it'll be up from there. But if she gets 7.5, she serves 30, it'll be 2.5. 2.25, 2.5, something like that. Blaze says there are 2 types under the skin and other things. Yeah. I have no idea. I'm not sure. What do you think? What do you guys think? What was she going to do next? Just pretend like she never had a baby? There's so many things that girls need after being pregnant. Like, I don't want to go into details, but, there's a lot of bleeding and there's a lot of this, and they have to wear this and that, and they need some medication and blah, 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 and some hygiene stuff and X, Y, and Z. Like, she needed some help. Even if the baby, whatever, she still needed to be at a hospital at least once. Very la-di-da, yeah. Well, very sad story. Let's keep an eye on that. No court date for the future set right now, but I'm sure we will hear about it when it does. Awful story. All right, let's head to New Jersey. Did we do this one the other day? Double homicide in Burlington County? Yeah.
A heartbreaking story developing out of Burlington County. A mother and daughter shot and killed inside their home in Willingboro. 37-year-old Junior Edwards of Lansdowne now facing charges for their murders. And tonight we're learning more about the suspected gunman and his connection to the victims. This is the news at 10. I'm Dawn Timoney. A vigil held tonight in remembrance of that mother and daughter. And Jen, you were there. Certainly an emotional evening for that entire neighborhood.
Incredibly emotional. Family members were also present and say Catherine and Marisol Nunez were the epitome of goodness. We also learned Catherine shared a son with the suspect and in recent months said that she was afraid for her safety.
I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Heartbroken. Really heartbroken.
Family members traveled from New York and as far away as Dominican Republic to attend this candlelight vigil in Willingboro, honoring Marisol and Catherine Nunez.
We're here to wrap our arms around you and say that we love you.
The family says the 54-year-old mother, Marisol, would travel from New York weekly to her 33-year-old daughter, Catherine's home to care for her 8-year-old grandson. This past Wednesday morning around 4 a.m., investigators say the mother and daughter were killed in a home invasion and discovered with multiple gunshot injuries. The Burlington County Prosecutor's Office says the child's father, Junior Edwards, now faces multiple charges, including murder and for committing these violent acts while his son was home. The charges were presented to the 37-year-old yesterday while in Philadelphia police custody for a domestic incident on September 15th. Those charges are for stalking, harassment, and making terroristic threats.
Father, I ask that you would touch this family and let them know.
Yeah, I feel like we read about this the other day. It's the terroristic threats that really spark my memory. Marisol? What, did I say that? Or did they say that? I don't know if I said that word. But yeah, this is here. Let me get out of this. Pretty brutal. They're saying a Delaware County man has been charged in the double murder of a Willingboro mother and daughter, officials have announced. They say Lansdowne resident Junior Edwards, 37, was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, endangering the welfare of a child, among other related charges. He was arrested Friday in Philadelphia on charges unrelated to the double homicide of 54-year-old Marisol Nunez and her 33-year-old daughter, Catherine, in their Willingboro home. Yeah, I remember when they were killed. That's right. We read about it, but we didn't know who the suspect was. That's right. They say the women were found shot early Wednesday morning inside their Harrington Circle home, according to officials. Investigators found a first floor window smashed, where Edwards was said to have gained entry around 4 a.m. A gun believed to have been used in the shooting was found outside the home. Authorities went on to say Edwards and Catherine were the parents of an 8-year-old boy. He was at home during the shooting and was uninjured at the time. On Saturday evening, the community held a candlelight vigil in front of her home on Harrington Circle. Several family members traveled from New York and as far away as the Dominican Republic to attend the gathering. They say, I couldn't believe it. Heartbroken, really heartbroken, according to a family member, Joseph. They were both the epitome of goodness. Marisol was always was with her mother, taking care of her mother. They're both beautiful souls. They didn't deserve this. Joseph says the mother and daughter were always happy, dancing, and loved music. He said their deaths still haven't settled in and everyone is devastated. The family told Fox 29 that she had traveled to Willingboro once a week from Brooklyn to care for her grandchild. In turn, her daughter Catherine could then travel up to New York once a week for her job. During the vigil, the community prayed for the family, including their 8-year-old. They said she was a great mother. She loved her son, always was doing everything for her son. She moved out here for him. She was just an amazing person. Her work ethic was amazing. Just her as a person, she was great. I just don't have enough nice things to say about her. That is very true. Some people at the vigil. Very sad. Right. Now that boy, we read so many stories where the child ends up the victim because they end up with no parents at all. Mary is sea, or Mari is sea, and soul is sun. The sun and the sea combine to make a name. Gail says, poor child. I agree. Far too many stories of children being, left with no family. All right. I still didn't get an update on any of the court cases I wanted to this week. I wanted to see how our manhunt is going. Manhunt, let's see. They're saying search intensifies for Tennessee murder suspect last seen in Chapin or Chapin. They're saying they're still searching for that guy. So if you remember this story, it's about the guy who pretended it to be pretended a bear was chasing him and he fell off a cliff when in reality he killed the victim and planted a fake ID on them, trying to make it look like that the guy with the ID died and then he went on the run. And his name is Nicholas Hamlet, and they are still searching for him. Wow, I thought they would have got him by now. They believe someone is helping him. They've said a few times in the press conference that, whoever's talking to him, whoever's helping him, we're going to come back and charge you too. So I think they believe that he is getting some sort of support from someone. Let me just check this out. All right. Let me see what the latest is on Mr. Nicholas Hamlet. No, that's not what I wanted. There we go. No update right now, but apparently 17 hours ago he was spotted in South Carolina. Yeah, so now they are searching the South Carolina area looking for him. He is still on the run and he is considered armed and dangerous. The FBI is involved, the TBI, the South Carolina SLED. Everyone's looking for this fella. And so far, a week later, we still do not have him in custody. Still no update. That is very frustrating. I would have thought for sure they would have got him by now. But yeah, the marshals are looking for him, everyone. They're saying law enforcement overnight confirmed an out-of-state sighting of murder suspect Nicholas Hamlet, who is at the center of a manhunt out of Monroe County. Officials conducted a search for Hamlet in the town of Chapin, South Carolina, using canines and a helicopter. The U.S. Marshal Service, who is assisting in the search for Hamlet, said he was known to have connections to other states, including Tennessee, Montana, Alaska, Kentucky, North Carolina, and Florida. The Marshal Service said on Friday that they had tracked him to Chapin, South Carolina, and learned he was camping in the woods on the outskirts of town. But when they went there, he had fled on foot. They said they've been searching the area all night and believe he is on foot in the area, according to the Marshal Service. Later, in an update on the same Facebook post, the police said Hamlet had been seen in the area of Chapin High School and established a perimeter for the search. After a few more updates overnight into Friday, stating Hamlet was not in custody, the police said the search was continuing. So they were unable to locate him, even though they put in a giant search and a perimeter around the area. Hey, sweet Melissa, I haven't seen you for a while. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Haven't seen my friend the doctor either. I hope she's doing good too. You're in South Catalina? Yeah, Melissa, it's good to see you. Yeah, the bear's still chasing him to this day. Yeah, SLED will get him. SLED is a great organization. They're a great law enforcement org. They are really good at tracking people down. They've done a great job with it in the past. You're confused about the details? The T is next to the I? What? Yeah, so I can do a little follow-up. Hold on. For people who don't know the here. There was a press conference. Is it here? No, that's not it. Hold on, guys. Let me find the press conference. Hold on, guys. 1 second. All right, sorry about that. QWERTY. Oh, QWERTY. Let me try and find a roundup of it for people who haven't been following it with us. I'm just trying to find one that'll give you a decent rundown. Here, let's go to this one here. WLTX News. News 19 WLTX News on YouTube.
We're continuing to follow breaking news this morning as the search continues right now for a man wanted for murder. His name is Nicholas Hamlet. He's 45 years old, and we are being told that he is considered armed and dangerous. Now, police say Hamlet was involved in a murder in Monroe County, Tennessee. Authorities believe Hamlet killed a hiker and then stole his identity. Now, we want to tell you what has happened so far this morning. Around 12:30 this morning, Chapin police say they confirmed a sighting of him near Chapin High School. Officers then set up a perimeter around the school, and they're continuing to encourage people in that area to lock their doors and remain inside until you have to go out to your morning destination. Now, we are being told that not only is he wanted for this murder, he's also wanted for a parole violation in Alabama. While we don't know why authorities believe he came to Chapin, we do know that the FBI and the U.S. Marshal's Office are a part of the search effort this morning. In fact, we've just learned that the U.S. Marshal's Office is leading this investigation in finding him. Now, because of what he is wanted for and him having a violent criminal history, we are told that if you do see him, do not approach him. Instead, you are asked to call 911 immediately. But again, folks in the Chapin area are being told to stay on guard this morning as the search continues for 45-year-old Nicholas Hamlet. Now, news.
There you go. There's a little one. So he had a parole violation. They're not sure what he did between then and getting to Monroe County, but in Monroe County, he'd been using a fake ID. Then he called in that 911 call. Let's see if we can find that for you. Let me see if I can find that 911 call. By the way, I want to really thank my friend Marjorie. Marjorie, thank you so much for sending in that donation. That is very kind of you. I just saw it pop up then, but I think it was like an hour ago. But thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. It helps a lot. Between you and Moon Shadow, between the two of you tonight, you both have really helped a lot. I very much appreciate it. Let me hold on. No. Let me see if I can find that original 911 call for you. Is this it? No. Give me a second. I'll find it. Okay. I don't know why that would have been removed, but okay. This was the original article. Hmm. I don't know why there was like a 911 dispatch radio, but it's disappeared. Is it in this video?
Man with ties to according northeast of Chattanooga.
No. I'm not sure why that has gone missing. It was in that article. I'm sorry, my friend. I can't play it to you, but if you go back to the one we did earlier this week with his name in the title, you'll be able to hear it. Oh, he must know he's done. Yeah. He must know. All right, give me 1 sec. I'll give one last shot at finding it. Let's see if we get one more. No. I don't know why I cannot find that anymore. It's interesting. It was all over everyone's articles like a week ago. And now it's disappeared. Maybe Spotify, not Spotify, Broadcastify was annoyed. Maybe they've been told off for using it. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't find it. I know we did play it in a previous video, but that is that's it. Unfortunately, if I find it, I'll post it on our Facebook for you. I will do that. All right, what time are we at? 4:41. All right, we can do one more, and then we got to get out of here for the night because it's like 2 a.m. in the morning. But yeah, very, very sad about that man in Edinburgh. I hope they figure out who he is and are able to give him back to his family. That is extremely sad. Yeah, they've actually put out an update. Let's have a look. They're saying police have swarmed Edinburgh's party district following unverified reports a severed head was found in the street. Eyewitnesses claim the gruesome discovery was made in the Cowgate area in the city's old town. So far, police have said they were responding to a report a pedestrian had been hit by a vehicle. Okay, so now they've changed the wording, but have not released further details. They're saying images seen by Mail Online appeared to show a body covered in a white sheet lying in the road with a forensic tent also set up. Okay, it sounds like he definitely got hit by a car. And they're saying that all the roads have been cordoned off and no one's allowed in. There's a new photo. You can see they've now put a forensic tent over the man, unfortunately. Hey, Melissa. Yeah, oh, I want to stay on for that. Is it really going to go back? Okay, well, we'll try and stay on. Hold on. Monroe. All right, let's see if we can find it daily. Let's go to ABC 27. Maybe they've got it. No, they don't have it either. I don't know why it's been taken down, but sometimes this happens. Media gets taken down from people, taken down from websites. Fallback? Yeah, we need a fallback. And the time's going to fall back too in 18 minutes. Oh, actually, we have a interesting one here. Last night I brought you a story out of Orlando where victims had been shot at a Halloween party. They're saying those people have been identified. On Saturday, the Orlando Police Department said 25-year-old Tyrek Hill, not Tyreek Hill, who plays for the Dolphins, but his lookalike apparently that's 25 years old called Tyrek Hill, and 19-year-old Timothy Schmidt Jr. were killed by the gunman in the early hours of November 1. 17-year-old Jalen Dwayne Edgar fired shots which ended up killing 2 men and injuring 9 others in the area of East Central Boulevard and North Orange Avenue. Edgar was charged Friday with 2 counts of first-degree murder with a firearm and 6 counts of attempted first-degree murder with a firearm, according to Orlando Police Chief Eric Smith. The chief said that 6 of the victims were taken to a nearby hospital for treatment and are currently in a stable condition. The victims' ages range between 19 and 39, according to NBC affiliate Wesh TV. And they reported their conditions as Victim 1, black male, 25, deceased. Victim 2, white male, 19, deceased. Victim 3, white male, 18, shot in lower left leg. Victim 4, white female, 39, shot in left hand. Victim 5, Hispanic female, 24, shot in left leg. Victim 6, black male, 20, shot in head. It was just a graze, a bullet graze. Victim 7, Hispanic male, 26, shot in right foot. Victim 8, Hispanic female, 19, shot in upper back, lodged in the cheek. Victim 9, Hispanic female, 26, injuries from being trampled on. So this guy caused all of this plus 2 homicides for just being an absolute dumbass. Can't keep his gun at home during what is supposed to be a community celebration for Halloween. Everyone's trying to like get a little bit chilled out, have a little bit of fun, and someone always has to ruin the party and poop in the punch bowl and apparently kill someone too. Let's go to WKMG News 6 Orlando.
On top of breaking news, the shooting in downtown Orlando that killed 2 people and hurt at least 8 others. This is News 6 at 4:30. I'm Lisa Bell.
Yeah, glad you're with us. I'm Matt Austin. News 6 anchor Ginger Gadsden joins us now live from downtown Orlando, where she's been working to try to get answers from leaders. Ginger.
Hey, Matt and Lisa, and part of the reason I'm not in studio with you guys this afternoon is because we are trying to press local leaders about what they are doing about security steps in downtown Orlando, especially in light of what happened here early this morning. When you hear 2 people dead and 8 others hurt, that is really jarring news to wake up to, especially happening in downtown Orlando. So that is part of the reason that Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer has announced a local state of emergency that will be in place for 7 days. Part of that includes businesses must stop selling alcohol at midnight. And of course, there is a curfew from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. Now, I was at that press conference where they announced those changes, and we'll get to that part of the story in just a little bit. But first, we want to talk about that 17-year-old suspect. News 6's Mike DeForest joins us live in studio now to talk about that. Mike, I was just blown away when I heard the person that they say is responsible for these 2 shootings is just 17 years old.
Unbelievable. I've got kids around that age, and you just can't comprehend it. Right now, Jalen Edgar is being held in custody on 2 counts of first-degree murder and 6 counts of attempted first-degree murder.
17 at a Halloween party caused that much death and destruction and that much injury to people. You heard me rattle off the list of people who didn't die but were injured severely and are in hospital due to gunshot injuries. It's supposed to be fun, people. It's supposed to be having a good time, dressing up, acting like a little bit like little kids again, having a few adult beverages. Leave the firearm at home. Ain't no one going to be shooting at you unless they're giving you a shot of alcohol. But everyone just chill the F out. I know. Well, he probably would have been drinking. Let's not play games. Kids at that age drink. I'm sorry. It just happens. In Australia, he'd almost be 9 months away from being legal. What is it? Flora arson in Delphi. 5 kids died. It's unsolved in a cover. No, I haven't heard that one. Flora arson. Flora arson? Hold on. Let's play the rest of this video, then I'll look for that, okay?
Murder. Earlier today, Orlando police shared this video of Edgar being walked out of police headquarters and placed into a patrol car, presumably en route to the juvenile detention center, since, again, he's only 17 years old. This is the second time Edgar's been arrested in just the past year. Last December, Orange County deputies say they stopped the teen while he was driving a stolen car. Now, juvenile court records are confidential, so we don't know the outcome of that grand theft auto case. We're told Edgar was enrolled in Orange County Public Schools for elementary and middle school, but not high school. We still don't know yet where he might have been attending school recently. Now, Orlando police say that Edgar is not talking to them, so they do not know yet where he may have gotten the gun used in this morning's shooting or why he allegedly did it. Ginger.
New right.
There you go. There's the suspect. Yeah, Jojo, I'm sorry I couldn't find the original audio for you. But there is audio where the dispatch is trying to talk to the deputies and telling them about a guy who rang in saying a bear chased him off a cliff and that he fell off the cliff and is now stuck in a puddle of water with serious injuries. When they got there, the guy was dead with a fake ID on him. And then they figured out that it was Mr. Hamlet who had killed the man and then now gone on the run. So they're now looking for Hamlet over that particular death. Well, yeah, I guess so. Love you more. Yeah, his life is done. Multiple murders. He's going to the clink. He's going to the clink. He's heading off to the heading off to jail. Heading off to jail. So apparently they've got some footage here from the shooting too. You see everyone scatter. And look at all these people, they're just trying to have a good time, and some idiot pulls out a firearm. Like, he's there in the orange shirt. Like, you're an idiot. Like, you're an absolute dumbass. Stay at home. If you can't commingle with other people normally, then stay at home. If you're too dumb to hang around other people, then stay at home. Don't be heading to no Halloween gathering with 150 people there. Same goes for the one in Melbourne. Some guy got shot down here on Halloween because who knows? No one knows why. All right. So here in Hillsborough County, man kills wife in murder S-word, leaves her dead in parked car on Water Street, according to the HCSO. 2 people are dead in what deputies say was a murder S-word in downtown Tampa overnight. The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office responded to the 2800 block of Cedar Ridge Drive just after 9 p.m. on Friday after receiving reports of a woman who had gone missing. Just after midnight, detectives found the woman, 28-year-old Waleshka Gomez Baroda, dead in a parked car outside the Heron apartment complex located at 815 Water Street. Officials said the suspect, a 31-year-old Franklin Vegas Delgado, had called a relative and told them he had killed his wife. Vegas Delgado reportedly abandoned the parking lot where his wife was found and fled on foot at about 1:20 a.m. He was found with self-inflicted injuries at the Marriott Waterside Hotel, located at 505 Water Street. The hotel is located roughly half a mile away from where the woman's body was found. They say, our hearts go out to the family and loved ones impacted by this heartbreaking tragedy. According to the sheriff, this is an unimaginable loss and a painful reminder that violence is never the answer. I agree. 31-year-old Franklin Vega Delgado. Let's see. What a horrible thing for the family to have to uncover and find. Let's go to patch.com. They say 2 dead in murder S-word in downtown Tampa. Yeah, he's killed his wife and left her body inside a parked vehicle and then went on the run and killed himself. That's it. That's all the information I have on it, unfortunately. Let me see if I can find a photo of at least him, Franklin Vega Delgado. I do not see a photo for him. No, unfortunately. No, the same details in this particular article too. Just that they had reports of a missing woman and were concerned for her safety. They end up finding her body in a car in the parking lot, and then they found his body about half a mile down the road with self-inflicted injuries. That's right. Yeah, Jojo, I hope your kid is feeling better. It's not a great time to be sick when it was your birthday, was it? Hope you still had a good birthday, Jojo. What time is it? We got 4 minutes. 4 minutes to go. I didn't really find anything on that thing. Hold on. Here. Let's do this one for Alaska. Hold on.
Welcome back. iTeam8 uncovered new details on the fire that tore through a home in the Carroll County community of Flora. It was, you recall, ruled an arson. I asked to speak with the state's police superintendent. He declined. That is until we approached him again. State police detectives working for nearly 8 years have not made an arrest. Mystery still surrounds the November 2016 deaths of these 4 girls in Flora. 11-year-old Kiana Davis, 9-year-old Kiara Phillips, 7-year-old Carrie McDonald, 5-year-old Keone Welch all died when this 2-story duplex went up in flames in arson. Our questions about the fire are now.
I have to pause it for 1 second due to the stupid music. Hold on.
Absolutely. Absolutely, yes.
The state's top cop. After first declining our invitation to talk about the fires, now he opens up, sitting down with iTeam8 at Wish TV. He asked that we keep our questions general. In our search for answers, we pushed for more.
Can you say anything more specific than ongoing about where the investigation stands?
I can't, as I explained to you, but I can tell you that we're responding and reacting to every bit of information that we receive.
Have any new leads been developed? Any suspects been identified?
Leads, yes. Suspects, no.
We spoke to the girl's mother, Galen Rose, from her home in Missouri. She opened up to me and our cameras for the first time in years. She tells us she's lost faith in the investigation, that she believes it was hindered early on by what we uncovered to be a flurry of personnel changes, resignations, and retirements coming from those involved in the investigation at its earliest stages.
Is this case solvable? Was it botched from the beginning?
I think botched is a subjective term. We didn't get involved in it for a period of time as a state police agency. I think botched is probably not an accurate word. Were there mistakes made? Yes. And do I wish we would have gotten involved earlier? Yes. The fact is we didn't. And do I think it's solvable? Yes, I do.
Sounds like they screwed up the early investigation of that. So yeah, sorry, it was Juicy Jules' birthday. Sorry, my bad. It was Juicy Jules' birthday. You both have J names, so it confused me for a second. That's pretty bad. 2016, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we have some leads. Do you have any suspects? Suspects? No, we don't have any suspects. Well, we did make some mistakes early on, and I wish we'd done things differently." And those are all just weasel words. Weasel words from investigators. You have nothing. They have sweet FA. They have nothing. They have nothing. Rachel says another investigation screw up sounds familiar. Yes. This particular agency is starting to come across as incompetent. 100% incompetent. Sat on the Delphi investigation for freaking 5 years. Made a crapload of mistakes with that one too. And if they didn't get that arrest, people were already calling for blood. I'm not kidding. Like, people were already so pissed off with that agency because they just felt like they were sitting on their hands for half a decade. And now they don't have this one too. This one, they're probably not under as much pressure as Libby and Abby because it's a family of color, and they're probably not getting as much community pushback or nationwide, worldwide pushback like they did. Yeah. Oh, it went through. Hey, we went back to 1 a.m. We made it. We made it to your changeover in timeline. timeline. You are now in the new timeline. Serial has different names, and the Mandela effect is called the Mickey Mouse effect. It's one again. We just lost an hour. Well, look, I should probably. It was Donald Sutherland. Yeah, pretty crap. This is just crap. Hold on.
Be a flurry of personnel changes, resignations, and retirements coming from those involved in the investigation at its earliest stages. Is this case solvable? Was it botched from the beginning?
I think botched is a subjective term. We didn't get involved in it for a period of time as a state police agency. I think botched is probably not an accurate word.
Shut the F up. Botched is the perfect word. It is the perfect word. You botched it. Own your freaking mistakes and stop hiding behind, yo, we can only have a generalized meeting. You can only ask general questions and nothing specific. What you work for the public. You're paid out of the public purse. You know, you are accountable to the citizens of your county. Be accountable, because you ain't being accountable in this interview. Oh, botched is not a word I think is, appropriate for the situation. Bro, it's 2024. In 2 years, it'll be a decade. It's a cold case. Don't care what you say. It's a cold case. You ain't got no leads. You ain't got no suspects. It's a cold case. You have nothing. It's a joke. Like you should have to put out a report on this of like what you screwed up and how you're going to fix it and where you're going to go from here, because the family deserves answers. A decade, that's disgusting. It really is a decade. So you're basically saying that you can't figure it out. I'm sorry, that's what you're saying to everyone. You're saying to everyone that with your crack team of investigators in the state agency, the local agency, whoever else you have to call in, I don't care who it is. I don't care if you have to call in Batman. You call in Batman if you have to. Figure it out. Figure it out. The family deserves answers. Look at these people. These people deserve as much as anyone else. I don't care if they're Hispanic, they're white, they're black, they come from freaking Mars. They deserve the same investigation, and a good investigation and answers, as anyone else. It's a joke. This whole thing. They're starting to get a reputation for doing a crap job. They really are. They're really starting to get a reputation for not doing a thorough investigation. And yeah, horrible to hear that family is still waiting for answers. Yeah, what does it say here?
Our investigation uncovered a trail of documents showing an insurance policy taken out by the homeowner less than 2 months before the fire, good for 5.5 times the amount of the home, and an appraisal done around the same time, valuing the duplex at $45,000. This is an appraisal done on the home? You understand what this looks like?
I do.
Is insurance fraud one of the motives you're looking at?
It's not one that we haven't looked at.
You said that Galen Rose is not a suspect. Can you tell us why she's not a suspect?
All I can say is I believe that's accurate.
Was she a suspect?
I don't believe so. Again, my opinion.
Is the homeowner a suspect?
I'm not going to go there. My test.
At what point will you go there? At what point will you do anything? At what point will you arrest someone? At what point will you release any information about doing anything? Investigators did the best we could at the time. No. The best you could do at the time is arrest whoever killed these people. That's the best. That's the best. The best is not like whatever you think it is. It's a standard the community holds you to, not what you hold yourself to. The community wants answers, and that's what they deserve, and that is the best. Not whatever you think it is, or we did the best at the time. What if someone did that? What if you had to go in for a freaking pacemaker or a heart surgery, and they went to your family and said, he died on the table. But, we did the best we could at the time. Do you think your family would be happy with that? No, they wouldn't. They'd be like, "What the hell? What do you mean you did the best at the time? How did he die? What do you mean he died? It's just a simple operation that everyone gets." What do you mean he died on the table? Oh, we didn't have the best team at the time, but we just hired the best team now. It won't matter for this one. He's already dead. Don't worry about that. But the next guy we do it on, he'll be great. He'll have a great surgery. He'll get a great pacemaker. It'll be no problem. Do you see how that works? Why aren't you holding yourself accountable for what happened at the beginning? If you screwed it up, then you screwed it up. Own your mistakes and explain how you're going to fix it. Because right now, all I hear is weasel words and excuses and, oh, I don't want to talk about that. I can't comment on that. If you can't comment on it and you don't have anyone to arrest, then you're just hiding behind your words. Arrest someone, get justice for this family, and just get them the answers that they deserve. That's it. That's your job. Do it.
Test here is, did we do what we knew was wrong? And the answer is no. No. We did the very best we could with what we had at the time. And I'm going to stand by that till my last day.
Well, then your last day should have been the day after this interview. It really should. You should get the F out of there because obviously you are incompetent. You are so incompetent. Like, when was this interview? When was this? Hold on. 4 months ago. Should have been fired a day after. Yeah, same with the Delphi case. This guy just hides behind weasel words and, things like that. Yeah, we did the best we could at the time. What about now? That was 2016. It's 2024. How many years of people's lives do you want to take up with no answers and let them just go through Christmases and birthdays and family, milestones and this and that with they just don't know. They don't know. What if there's a killer out there and you're just like, "Sure, we did the best we could." Is there a killer out there? There could be. Like, as if like he's fine and his bloody, you know, castle made of robots and sharks with lasers and ain't no one gonna hurt him. He just testified in the Delphi case that he let the FBI off the case. Same guy, Doug Carter. Yeah, it is the same guy. Yeah, he's a joke. He's an absolute joke. Look at how they had handled Richard Allen. Yeah, it is shameful. That case with the Delphi, that's why I don't cover it. Otherwise, you'd be getting this type of angry ping every day because it is a mess of an investigation. It's a mess of a trial. And they will be lucky to get a conviction. Like, lucky. They will just be like, if they came back with a not guilty verdict, I wouldn't be surprised. If they came back saying the evidence didn't lead them to get a guilty verdict, I'd be like, well, okay, I believe you. I believe the jury, because it's just, how can you have so little after almost, what was it, 2016, right? As well, how can you have so little? How can you have so little evidence? Andrea is a rock star. I don't know who that is. You have to tell me who that is. He told the FBI to leave and turn over all their findings. I'd rather have the FBI. 2017, sorry. No, like, it's ridiculous. They're like, "Oh, did you do any DNA testing?" Nah. What do you mean, no? Did you test those, the sticks and the blood and this and that? And, oh, yeah, we didn't think it would be any use. What do you mean you didn't think it'd be any use? It's a murder investigation. You test everything. If they have to swab your asshole for friggin' DNA, then that's what they're gonna do. You do whatever you have to do. And Jojo says, "Sweet, Mr. Thank you." Yeah, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Appreciate that information. Yeah. Yeah. these guys get paid too much. They are around for too long. They get far too comfy at their long lunches and their state banquets and getting paid a lot of money for no answers. Rachel says Andrea Burkhardt is a defense attorney in court at Delphi. She's fair and honest. Okay, I haven't watched a lot of the trial because it just makes me mad, and there's a lot of people covering it, so it's not worth me covering it because there are some really good people covering it who are actually going to trial, and I feel like they're doing a very good content of it. Me doing it is just giving you like the Walmart version of it when they're doing a very good job. So I'd rather you watch them for the Delphi trial. Same for me. I agree. Thank you. Yeah, it sounds like he's just waiting to get his package so he can leave. Jojo says, well, it's because the way they treated Richard Allen is not normal. When have you ever heard of someone going to prison before a trial? Yeah, that was a little weird. Well, you go to jail before a trial, right? In America, you go to jail, and then when you're convicted, you go to prison, right? You go to jail. Is that right? There's a difference, right, between jail and prison. Like, you go to jail while being held for trial, and then you go to prison when you're being convicted. I hope I'm right with that. I know there's a difference. Yeah, I don't know. If like I said, if they come back with a not guilty verdict, I'd be surprised. That is a deep breath. That is true. Ay. I think that's it for the night. I hope they can get some decent investigators on this particular case. That is very sad. The 2016 Flora fire. Yeah, like the mum says she's lost faith in the investigation and she doesn't trust the investigators anymore. When you lose the trust of the family, that's it. Like, you have to look inside yourself and say, what have we done so wrong to lose the trust of a victim's family? Like, you really do. Yeah, because it's something to do with where he originally wasn't okay or something. In solitary confinement for 30 months. That'll break anyone. I let's have a look. Apparently there was a settlement. Yeah. A settlement has been reached in the civil suit filed on behalf of Galen Rose, the mother of the 4 girls who were killed in a Flora arson fire in 2016. They're saying, according to court documents filed on September 6 and entered into the docket on Tuesday, officials said the parties in the lawsuit attained a settlement, the details of which are confidential. Jonathan Bont, an attorney for Rose's landlord, Josh Ayres, was also confirmed the settlement was reached. So I'm guessing the landlord is the owner. His name is Josh Ayres or Ayres. Josh Ayres. Or Aries, I guess. So that is the owner. According to previous reports, Rose sued him and his business partner, Troy Helderman, and Birch Tree Holdings, their company, after the November 2016 house fire that resulted in the death of her 11-year-old Kiana Davis, 9-year-old Kiara Phillips, and 7-year-old Karel McDonald, and 5-year-old Keone Welch. The lawsuit claimed that Rose complained to the landlord about a lack of working smoke detectors and non-functioning electrical outlets and non-locking doors in the home prior to the fire. Originally, investigators said they found accelerants in several parts of the home, but that was later found not to be true. Indiana State Police, the ISP, said at the time that it was discovered that accelerants were only found in one part of the home, showing where the fire began. A peer review of the fire that was conducted by the Indianapolis Fire Department concluded that the fire was confirmed as arson. According to previous reports, because the fire was determined to be intentionally set, ISP were called to continue the investigation into the incident. In August, a court ordered the home to be demolished after the parties confirmed there was no need to continue preservation of the property. No suspect has been determined for the arson case. According to court documents, the court vacated any previous pending deadlines and set a scheduled telephone conference for 11:30 a.m. on March 8, 2024. This conference will happen only if the case does not settle. At this time, the court indicates that the case will be termed administratively. Documents read at a later date, the parties will move to close the date officially. Stipulations of dismissal are due by March 1st, earlier in the year of this year. So it sounds like they reached a settlement over the deaths of the kids and the fire. But who was it? Or heirs? 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 Is that how you say it? Heirs? Rachel said Alan's doctors was following the case online. Yeah, I heard that. I heard that. I heard the doctor was in Gray, talking to Gray, or had some sort of involvement with Gray. What that involvement is, I don't know. I don't watch Gray anymore. Not anything bad, I just don't have time. It's not like I'm like, oh, that guy's a complete dick or whatever. I'm concentrated on my channel. I just don't have time to sit there and watch his channel for hours at a time. Patty L says they probably didn't gather any evidence and now no case. Well, the house is now gone, but they did determine that there was an accelerant used, so someone set the fire. And that document saying that the house was insured for multiple times its value is very suspicious. Angela said she was watching true crime and in the chats. Yeah, I read that. Yep. I read that. That is a conflict of interest. It makes you very impartial because it pollutes your mind think of like what your facts of the case are. It pollutes it because you're starting listening to stuff from true crime creators. Not all of them tell the truth, and some of them just talk in theories, and it pollutes your ability to stay impartial. All right. All right, that's it for tonight. I hope you had a great show. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate everyone. And again, I'm really thankful for the people who've been really supportive in the change and everything. Little did I know that it wouldn't really matter because with the time change, it would have pushed that late show way too far into the evening, guys. Like I would be still on the air at about 6 p.m. at night, and I can't do that anyway. Even if I wasn't, even if I was home, I couldn't do that because I've got other things I got to do at that time for, Mrs. Ping and stuff like that. So it wouldn't have worked anyway. So it's just going to have to be a winter. It's just going to have to be a winter type thing and a weekend thing. So you still get 2 late shows every week on the weekend. So on the weekend, you can still get 2 late shows. And then during the week, we're on a little, during the week, we're on a little earlier. So during the week, we've been starting at 8 o'clock or something, like 8:30. So we've been doing that during the week. So we'll continue to do that. Yeah, look into that one. Be very careful if you're going to search it on Twitter. Those images are everywhere. Same with the video. Be very careful if you type in, what was that word? If you type in, I can tell you, hold on. If you type in anything like Edinburgh, Cowgate, Scotland, it'll pop up. So if you want to watch it, fine, go ahead. But if you even the tiny tinsiest bit queasy about human remains, then I would be very careful. I'd be very, very careful. And watch out for the idiots. Let me show you something. Actually, before we go, let me show you these absolute pieces of crap that do dumb shit like this, and they should be kicked off of the internet. This type of thing. If we could put these people in jail, in computer jail, I'd be very happy. All right, let me show you this. Don't click on these links. If you're on Twitter, don't click on these. They are not real links. So you see something like this, right? Hold on, let me take down that comment. So if you can't see anything, it's okay, it's all blurred. See here, you'll see the images like media like this, and then down below you'll see some sort of like weird website. Sometimes it has like just numbers and letters and like .com or .net or whatever. Don't click on these. If you're going to click on a media on Twitter, it should look like it's coming from the user. So it won't have that little link. So it won't say from whatever the crap that is. It'll just play, or you can click on it. If it has that little link tag below it and it's not a media organization that you know, like, I don't know, CNN or whatever, do not click on it. They are viruses, they are keyloggers, they are all sorts of stupid crap, adware, malware. Don't click on it. Don't click on it. Yeah, don't, for anyone in my chat, don't click on those things. If you see the little link below the media, don't click on it. Unless you recognize the website like BBC News or Channel 5 or whatever. All right. Hey, I love you all so much. Again, I'm very appreciative of the people who are being very adult about this situation, about not having the late show. It's very nice to see there's some very normal people out there that are able to understand. And the people who are still, supporting the channel, thank you so much. I think some people think that I just jump on and do 2 hours and it's just 2 hours a day. It's hundreds of hours a week researching this, knowing what I'm talking about, and being able to answer your questions and stuff like that. It's hours and hours and hours more than you realize. So those people that are willing to support the channel, I appreciate it. Sean says, don't click on CNN either. No, don't click on KFC either. All right. Have a great night. And yeah, I'm sad to hear about that old man. That's not a very nice way to go, and then have your body desecrated by someone walking down the street thinking it's a Halloween prop. That's very unkind and not a very nice way to treat. I know that maybe they didn't know, but it's still very disrespectful. I hope they figure out who it is and he's able to go back to his family and get a proper burial. I hope tomorrow by the time I come back, I'll have that story for you saying who he was, and his family now know, and he's able to go home. Well, normal for true crime. Patty says, have a wonderful day. Night, everyone. See you later. I appreciate it, Tharvi. Thank you. But hey, you still get the only hours you lose each week is only about an hour of showtime each week. That's it. And just the time slot moved back by an hour. And you get it all in one go instead of 2 separate shows. That's it. That's the only difference. Other than that, nothing else changed. All right. I'll see you tomorrow for Sunday Nights with Ping. There's no 49ers game tomorrow, so I'll be on probably pretty early. So come hang out with me, and we'll do Sunday Nights with Ping. I think we're calling it something else now. What are we calling it? We're calling it Sunday Night True Crime in America. That's what we're calling it now. Sunday Night True Crime in America. So come back tomorrow night for that. Bye. Good night. By the way, Sean, thank you very much for your donation. That is very kind. I caught it just before we went. Thank you very much. It is very kind. Thank you for all your support all year long. It is very sweet of you. Bye. See you later. Have a great Sunday or Saturday, wherever you are. I will tell her, Patty. I will. See you later. By the way, the ending video is still broken. I can't change it. It just keeps playing the same old one, even though I made a new one for you. So we're working it out. The branding's been fixed, but the videos have not. So we're halfway there. Hopefully by tomorrow. Bye.